You cannot just go into their country and think that you can just live and get assets in your name and do all that. They don't care about none of that. They will send you home. Foreigners come over to different places and they be like, oh, I love this. But it's like, can you live here? Can you really live here? Where'd you go? Oh, you know. Hey y'all, so shitty lady. So as you can see from the title down below, I'm gonna talk about some ways and things that you need to think about before you try to move abroad or move to another country. And yeah, first thing that you need to start looking into before you move to another country. I know it's something that everybody thinks that they already know, but do your research. Do your research on the country that you are trying to reside in. Figure out some of their rules, figure out the laws, learn a little bit more about their government system. People want to move certain places, but you don't know what it's really like to live like a local in these places that you want to move to. Is the system corrupted? What are you getting yourself into? People only think about the good side of moving to another country, but they don't think about the other side of it as far as like legal matters. What can you not smoke? What can you not do? What can you do? Figure out some of the laws, learn more about the culture a little bit. Of course, you won't really know everything until you really move there. That's when you'll get to the nitty-gritty, but I would just say do your homework, do your research, figure out things about the country, and just gain a better understanding of the expectations of the country, because people run into so many problems. You think that you can bring certain things over here, you think that you can do certain things, but you can't. Next thing I would say do if you're moving to another country is you need to figure out where you're gonna live when you get to that country. Every place, like any other place, every area is not safe. Some places are a little bit more rough than others. You need to go and do your research as far as where you want to stay. Look up the crime rate in that area. Figure out, try to find out if you can find some more information by word of mouth. Look on the news site, you know, figure out where you actually going to be living. You don't know, you might move somewhere where might be some crazy stuff going on and you didn't do your research. So do your research when it comes to looking into where you want to live, where what has been happening in that area, the crime rate in that area, that type of stuff. Another thing I would strongly suggest that you do that I did is go and stay in that area where you want to live, or stay in the country for about a month or two and maybe like get the feel for everything. When you visit a place once or for a few days, you never really see it for what it really is. You only have like this unrealistic expectation or this fairy tale version of this country in your head because you're not really living the reality of it. Put some time on your calendar to go and actually live in these places and figure out, do they really resonate with your soul? Do you think that this is somewhere where you're really supposed to be? Not because of the vacation side of it, but can you really live here? Foreigners come over to different places and they be like, oh, I love this, but it's like, can you live here? Can you really live here? Can you really live here? So that's what you need to really figure out. Go out to that country of your choice, stay for a couple months, because let me tell you, you can vacation there, but the real life living there may be completely different than what it looked like when you were vacationing. So yeah, I would just say really go and spend some time there if you have the means to do so. To add to that, if you go and stay for a couple of months, I would say go and stay in Airbnb. If you can find a reasonable Airbnb that you can stay in for, you know, that month or those few weeks, just to kind of like figure out, is this the area I want to stay in, and get an Airbnb that's close to that area where you want to live. This is another thing that I really want you to do. Do not go based off of word of mouth when it comes to certain rules and regulations when it comes to you being a foreigner in a different country. In most cases, in most countries, you have 6 months that you can stay in the country, and then it's no more than 90 days where you can be in that country. So that means that you can be over in the country for 6 months, which is like a travel, you know, tourist little visa, whatever. You have those 6 months depending on what country you're coming from. Like me, as a tourist, I have a tourist travel, you know, time frame that I can be in Jamaica, which is 6 months. But the thing is, some people will tell you you have 6 months to stay and then you can go back and those 6 months will start all over. Do not believe that. I got caught up in that. Like, I wasn't in a place where I had to come back and forth. I'm just saying, someone told me that, and I was like, let me do my own research. So I was calling people at companies, I was calling people, you know, around in the country, asking around. I was doing my own research online, and that is not true. You cannot stay here 6 months, leave, and then come back for another 6 months. No, if the year starts in January and you come and you stay here for 6 months, all the way, you know, into June, you have to go back home, and you cannot come back over until that next year starts. You cannot do this flip-flop thing. No, you get 6 months in 1 year. I can only speak for where I'm coming from my situation. Me coming from the US to Jamaica, I only have 6 months to be here. But there are loopholes that you can go through to get you to stay here permanently. It's not easy. It is not easy. It is hard. So if you're trying to stay here, it is hard. But I would say, if you want to stay here for that good amount of time, as far as 6 months, do your research and understand that you cannot be here 6 months, leave, and then come back and be here another 6 months. You cannot do that, baby girl, baby boy. No, you cannot. They will, when you come back to customs, they will turn you around and tell you you have to go home. Don't be in a space where you're kind of walking into this situation thinking that you could just pick up and pack your bags and just move to another country. It is not always that easy. I don't know about other places. All I can speak from is the experience of me moving to Jamaica, and that is not the case, baby. You got to make sure that you're doing your homework. The only way you can kind of avoid some of these, you know, when it comes to the 6 months as a tourist, you know, that type of time frame, is when you are of Jamaican descent or you have parents or grandparents that are Jamaican. If you do not have that, baby, it's gonna be hard. So yeah, I would just say do your homework, do your research when it comes to how long you can stay in the country. Figure out that this is separate research from actually looking into, like, you know, the area that you want to stay in. This is research dedicated to certain documentations that you have to be here, how long you can be here, how to move here. You need to do that and figure all that out. Most people say, you know, come 6 months, see if you can do it the full 6 months. I believe after the 90 days you have to go and get an extension in most places, and depending on what the extension reason is, they can approve or deny. But in most cases, I do believe they approve. But yeah, you can go and get the extension. But in most cases, you know, people think they can come back and forth, and that is not the case. So do your homework when it comes to how long can you be in that country, and what documentations will you need to permanently reside in that country, because it's not always so easy. I will tell you that based off experience. It's not easy. Another thing that you need to do before moving to another country is build your own perception of what you see your life being in this country, what you want this experience to be. Yes, it's nice to get the opinions of others, but I would say go into this with a clear, open heart and mind, and talk to your higher source and God, if that's who you believe in, and really not base your decisions off of family members. Because one thing I will tell you is family they're going to always have your best interest in most cases, and they're going to love you and want the best for you. You cannot get help from people who have never went through what you're going through. The only advice that they can give you is from this biased standpoint of the little girl or little boy that they've known all their lives. If they have not moved to another country, if they have not resided in another country, you cannot get advice from them. They can only give you but so much advice. So you can lean on your parents for help and support, but don't let them be the final decision maker when it comes to your life, because you have control over what you want, and this is ultimately your life, your decisions, and you're the only one that's going to have to live with all of this when you wake up, or, you know, you're the only person that have to live with this decision, not everybody else. Everybody else is going to love you dearly, whatever decision that you make, I'm pretty sure, depending on your family dynamic. You have to do what is best for you. Based off of my own experience, I will tell you, do what is best for you. Focus on your intentions. You know, don't get caught up in what everybody else has to say about your decisions. Take that leap and trust in God and have that faith, but do not base your decision, or if you're going to reside somewhere else in another country, off of friends who have never done it, family who have never done it, boyfriends that have not, whatever. Do not listen to people who have not been in your shoes. Only seek advice from people who have been in your shoes, and even when you seek advice from them, take it with a grain of salt, because you're different. Your situation is different. You're a different person. So go based off of your own experience of what you want to see for yourself and your intuition, period. And lastly, what I would say is, kind of ties into the other one, but do not base your decision of moving to another country off of anybody who lives in that country currently, and do not base it off of what, like I said, friends and family. When you get to that other country, of course you're going to meet people, you're probably going to find love interest, you're probably going to meet so many different people, but make sure that you continue to check yourself every morning and figure out, okay, am I still living in my purpose? Am I fulfilling my intentions? Do not continue to attach your purpose onto other people if it does not serve you, if it's not helping you become a better person, if they're not lifting you up. Give energy where it's flowing towards you, and don't overexert yourself, because a lot of times when you go to other countries, some people see you as a target. You have people that'll be like, okay, well, I'm gonna take advantage of this foreigner because they don't know anything. So just make sure you're always staying vigilant and keeping God first, because God will help you to, you know, kind of like weed out those people. It's so easy to wear a fake mask nowadays, so be careful about what you're doing. I know me, transparent moment, I have stepped outside of the things that I know that God has been telling me to do, based off of me being clouded by things and me just being stuck or confused or, you know, just all over the place. So in my experience, what I knew I needed to do was get out by myself, get into a space by myself, get with myself, and really spend time with myself and learn what's going on inside of me. Like I told y'all on the last video, no matter where you are going to be in that same mental state. So if you leave America, if you leave wherever you are right now to go somewhere else, you're going to feel the same way eventually. Do what you have to do to protect your peace, protect you, and isolate. Get to that hermit mode. Don't stay there for long now, because we don't need you feeling like everybody out to get you. And I don't want you all to have that mindset either, where like if you go to a country, everybody's out to get you because you're a foreigner. No. Dang, my hair is getting a little poofy, but that's not the case. Like, just really tap into your intuition and make sure you're staying true to yourself, like I said in the other video, because you can get clouded, you can get drained by other people's energy. So make sure you're always uplifting yourself, affirming yourself, doing daily affirmations, writing, journaling, doing something, because I don't do it some days and I know I need to, and it's been so hard. Once you fall off of track of something, it's so hard to get back on. So but the good thing is you can always get back on track. This is like the little small things that you need to prepare for, even some big things that you need to be aware of. This video was for awareness. I want to just bring some things to your attention. I will continue to go more in depth and break it down piece by piece, but in this video I just want to let you all know, if you are watching my channel and if you are being inspired by my journey and you want to do this is a little bit of wrinkle dinkle so that you can know what to expect. Do what you need to do for you, and understand that you got to do what's best for you at the end of the day. Do your research, figure out the rules and regulations in the country that you want to reside in. Look into how long can you be here in this country, or whatever country you want to reside as a foreigner. How much, like, what's the time frame that you can be there? What are the documentations that you need? These are things that are very vital. You cannot just pack up your bags and move to another country. Some countries may be simple, but in most cases, most countries are not that simple. You cannot just go and intrude and just go into their country and think that you can just live and get assets in your name and do all that. They don't care about none of that. They will send you home. I don't know if y'all ever remember on my other video, I told you one time they was about to send me home. So do your research, make sure you're doing what you need to do. I'll come back with another video going in depth, you know, tell me what y'all want to talk about, and yeah, we'll go more in depth. But thank you all so much for liking and commenting and showing so much support and love on my other videos, and I'm so thankful, beyond grateful and thankful, and I hope that you all can learn from these videos that I'm posting. And yeah, y'all, I'm about to go to the beach, I think. I don't know, I think I'm gonna go to the beach, y'all. Maybe, like, I don't know, my locks, y'all see my locks, they locking, but I don't know if I want to do a retwist or any of that. But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for liking, comment, subscribing. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm hot, I don't know. Bye, y'all, thank you for watching. Where'd you go? Now you know.